In this video, we will discuss multiplying and dividing by powers of 10. For zero and negative number exponents, for any real number n to the 0 equals 1 if n is not equal to 0. For any real number n to the negative 1 equals 1 over n, or 1 over n to the negative 1 equals n if n is not equal to 0. When the exponent of 10 is a positive number, the exponent is the same as the number of zeros after the 1 in standard notation. So for example, 10 to the third equals 1,000, and there are 3 zeros. When the exponent of 10 is a negative number, the exponent is the same as the number of zeros after the denominator in fraction form, and the same as the number of decimal digits in the decimal equivalent. So 10 to the negative third is 1 over 1,000. There are 3 zeros in 1,000, or 0.001, and there are 3 decimal digits. To multiply a number by a power of 10, if the exponent is positive, shift the decimal point to the right the number of places indicated by the positive exponent. Attach zeros as necessary. If the exponent is negative, shift the desired point to the left the number of places indicated by the negative exponent. Insert zeros as necessary. For example, perform these multiplications using powers of 10. If I take 275 times 10, I move everything to the, I move the decimal place to the right one space, like so, and then I just add a 0 where that was. For 0.18 times 100, I take that decimal point and move it 2 spaces to the right. That gives me 18. 2.4 times 1,000, I move the decimal place 3 spaces to the right. 1, 2, 3. And now I have to add a couple of zeros. So I get 2,400. 4.3 times 0.1. This would be the same as 43 times 10 to the negative 1. So I'm going to move that decimal place 1 to the left. That gives me 4.3, or 4 3/10. 5.72 times 10 to the 5th. I take my decimal point and I move it to the right 5 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It goes around 7 and 2, and I have to have 3 more zeros in there. That's 572,000. Finally, 2.3 times 10 to the negative 3. I take that decimal place and I move it left 3 units. 1, 2, 3. I have 0.0023, and by convention, I'll stick a 0 out front. To divide a number by a power of 10. Change the division to an equivalent multiplication by multiplying the reciprocal of the divisor. Use the rule for multiplying by a power of 10. So for example, we performed these 3 divisions using powers of 10. We've got 3.14 divided by 10. That's the same as 3.14 times 10 to the negative 1. So I just have to move my decimal point 1 space to the left. That gives me 0.314, or 314 thousandths. Dividing 0.48 by 100. That's 0.48 times 10 to the negative 2. I move the decimal point to the left 2 spaces, which will give me 0.0048, which is 48 10,000ths. 20.1 divided by 1,000, I move the decimal place 3 units to the left. That becomes 0.0201, 201 10,000ths. 0.1 divided by 10 squared. I move the decimal point 2 spaces to the left, because it's the same as 0.1 times 10 to the negative 2. Move it to the left 2 spaces. I get 0.001, or 1/1000th. 2.5 divided by 10 cubed is 2.5 divided by 1,000, which is 2.5 times 10 to the negative 3. Move the decimal point 3 spaces to the left and get 0.0025, 25 1,000ths. To multiply powers of 10 in exponential form, the product will be a power of 10. You add the exponents for the power of 10 factors. Symbolically, that's 10 to the a times 10 to the b equals 10 to the a plus b. To divide powers of 10 in exponential form, the quotient will be a power of 10. Subtract the exponents of the divisor from the exponent of the dividend. Powers of 10 with negative exponents can be written as reciprocal expressions with positive exponents if desired. So if we have something like 10 to the a divided by 10 to the b, that's equal to 10 to the a minus b. For example, we'll multiply or divide using the laws of exponents. So if we have 10 to the 5th times 10 squared, that's 10 to the 5 plus 2, which is 10 to the 7th. 10 to the negative 1st times 10 squared is 10 to the negative 1 plus 2, which is 10 to the 1st, which is just 10. 10 to the 0 times 10 cubed is 10 to the 0 plus 3, which is 10 cubed. And this makes sense because 10 to the 0 we know is just 1, because anything except 0 to the 0 power is 1. If we multiply anything by 1, we get that thing back. So this is 1 times 10 cubed is just 10 cubed. 10 divided by 10 cubed is 10 to the 1 minus 3. So that's 10 to the negative 2, or 1 over 10 squared. 10 to the 5th divided by 10 to the 4th is 10 to the 5 minus 4, which is 10 to the 1, or just 10. 10 squared divided by 10 squared is 10 to the 2 minus 2, which is 10 to the 0, and anything to the 0 power except for 0 is 1. 10 to the negative 2 divided by 10 cubed is 10 to the negative 2 minus 3 is 10 to the negative 5th, which is 1 over 10 to the 5th. To raise a power of 10 to a power, again, the result will be a power of 10. The exponent will be the product of the original exponent and the exponent of the power. So symbolically, 10 to the a times 10 to the a raised to the b power is 10 to the a times b. For example, raise the powers of 10 to the indicated power. So if I have 10 to the 10 cubed squared, that's 10 to the 3 times 2, that's 10 to the 6th. 10 to the negative 3 to the 4th is 10 to the negative 3 times 4, which is 10 to the negative 12th. 10 to the negative 2 to the negative 3 is 10 to the negative 2 times negative 3 is 10 to the 6th again.